it's Cooking with Leigh Ann Martin.
Yay! Lord.
Welcome back.
Can we not have a little bit more applause than that? That was pretty sad.
Yeah.
That's more like it. Goodness gracious.
Welcome back to another special episode of Cooking with Leigh Ann Martin. And we're going to make it.
We're going to do what? A special? What's making it so special, Nathan?
I'm going to wear my mama's apron. This is my mama's apron.
Lord, you are so adorable. You need some help there? How
It's
about
hard when you get old and your joints get stiff. You can't reach behind your back. Huh? Don't just look nice.
Mm-hmm. Here.
It's got pockets too. That's the first thing she says. Oh, and it's got pockets too.
Mine does too. Well, come on, ladies. Y'all know you love you some pockets on stuff, right? So,
This episode brought to you by Cable Auction Company in beautiful downtown Jefferson, Georgia. Join us Labor Day, September the 7th. Southern Pottery starts at 11 o'clock.
What time?
11 a.m.
Okay, and where is it?
at the Jefferson Civic Center, 65 Kissam Street.
Okay, kiss them. Oh.
Oh. Americana at 1. We're going to have advertising and antique toys starting at 2:30. It's going to be a fun-filled day at the old auction hall. So.
I was ready for you that time, Scarlet Pants. All right. So, hey, can everybody hear us? No static. How's that going? Hit up the comments so Tim can let us know how we're sounding. So, I guess let's do our little quick shout-outs real fast. First of all, speaking of Tim. We are so thankful for your services to come over here and help us get this ready and to do the camera work and to read the comments. You're a gem.
It is absolutely my pleasure.
With a big round of applause for Tim, the cameraman. Yeah. So, Mr. Cagle, you got anything you want to say about a shout out?
How about our little contest? Which
one?
Well, we had 2 of them this past
Oh,
week.
you mean the like when we post little pictures?
It's
and...
under shout out.
Okay, yeah, steaks.
We posted a little poll on steaks.
That's it, whole.
Which kind of steak you like best? T-bone, New York strip, porterhouse. It looks like Porter Wagner, doesn't it?
It is. I wrote it, Porter Wagner, so you can read that.
Filet, sirloin, and ribeye.
Oh, so which one won, Nathan?
Well, we had 13 people that love T-bone steaks. We had 3 New York strip lovers. We had 2 Porter Wagner lovers. 2 fillets, 1 sirloin, and the grand winner was the ribeye at 17. Yay, cheers for ribeye.
Yay, ribeye.
Yay, ribeye. And there were several of the ribeyes and steaks that people liked on there. That was from Ted's Montana Grill.
Woo! Yes, Ted's Montana Grill. And somebody said Stony Creek. I've never been to Stony Creek. I think that was Terry Nunley.
Yeah. But when you got Ted's, why go to Stony Creek?
Well, Stony Creek is a long way. Creek, did you hear me? Okay. Then you had the other one where it was like, how picky are you? And how picky are you?
It was like 40-something different foods, and ones you would absolutely would not eat. You just put the number there, and we've got somebody that I think she probably goes hungry most every day.
She does,
She
except
she drinks water and eats air.
No, she drinks water and she then she eats brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. That is her weakness. And that is my good friend and my sweet Malin from the play, Amy Howard. She will not eat 37 of those.
Out of the 40.
Yes!
37
Child,
out of 40.
are you starving? Are you hungry? I got some Pop-Tarts. Come on over. So, anyway, that's our deal on that. Then,
And now, getting to the most exciting part of the night.
oh my God.
Everybody's
Can you
on.
just feel the buzz in the air?
We have our guest chef tonight, Leigh Ann Martin.
Yes.
I'm telling you what, she's a gem of a gem,
Oh.
and we are delighted and privileged to have her on set with us tonight. Come on in, Leigh.
Oh, I'm so delighted to be here. I was here last week. I started making this a thing.
I know. Well,
Leigh Ann, I'm telling you, you meet a lot of people in your life, and and Leigh Ann is just one of those people that when you meet them, you know they're good people, and she's good people. And back when I was going through the hospital there and going through some rough times with that cancer, I'd get a little text, or Mary Jane would have a little a Circe in your mailbox.
I never heard the term Cersei, but I love that.
So she took care of me with her little care package, Circe's homemade peanut brittle. Because that's one of my weaknesses. And
Mine too, and I'm so glad she hasn't made any in a long time.
It's been a while. Well, I didn't want you guys to get so used
but
to
that
it.
was
That
kind
would
of
be
like
so
my
special.
it was kind of like my medicine, and appreciate the little Circe's.
Pleasure's all mine.
Aw, that's so
You know it.
sweet.
So
Okay, what are we gonna do tonight? What are we cooking tonight, Miss Leigh Ann?
Well, I know when you guys had invited me to come over and bake with you all or make the peanut brittle,
Right.
but it's all done in the microwave. So I said, we're not going to do that. And this recipe is called tomato soup cake.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay, that
I know
sounds too
it's
crazy.
crazy. It really, and thank you, Campbell Soup, because this is also called depression cake, war cake, crazy cake, because it was, of course, made the recipe came about during the Depression when there are no eggs in this particular recipe because dairy was hard to come by.
Okay.
And the icing only has like 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk, and then there's sugar, but that's the only dairy in it, other than of course cream cheese. Which,
Of course, that was kind of an add-on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I wouldn't be more than likely. They probably didn't have the icing originally.
probably
Right.
not.
It came about after the fact, and it's really more like a spice cake.
It smelled. Oh my gosh, we've cooked one already,
Uh-huh.
and it smells like Christmas in
I
here.
know,
Yes.
I know. And my grandmother Emma, she was my step grandmother, my mother's stepmother, and she used to come down during the summer,
Right.
and of course, because we were all out of school, there were 6 of us. And so my brother Bradford's birthday was July 24th, and
Happy birthday, Bradford.
yeah, so she would usually be down and then that's when we would have the cake. And with 6 kids, you got your big slice while you could because she didn't make it all the time. And this is the bracelet that she used to wear.
Aww,
And it has all of our,
Snap a picture.
my brothers and stuff. My brothers, my sister, all the heads on it. Jeff, Brad, Jan, Chris Lee Gordon. Yes. Oh, I need that book over there for the recipes. As a matter of fact. And the recipe is kind of interesting because I had recorded it from my sister, and then when my great aunt Minnie passed away, this recipe book came down to me.
Yeah, and I posted that too.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, how nice. Yeah, that's my mom and dad right there.
Let me see.
This is my mom, Audrey, and my dad, Jack.
Oh my gosh,
And
they
Emma.
are so. Why am I not surprised that they look like movie stars?
And everybody looks like movie stars then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That was
I know.
that was early. That was like the 1950s.
It's like the Cleavers.
It
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
Oh
and
my
then, well, see,
gosh.
and then this is my Aunt Minnie. This is the one whose apron. This
Oh,
apron belongs
she's wearing
to her.
Aunt Minnie's
Oh,
apron.
listen, my apron there.
Oh heavens,
Who's
no!
that?
No, this is a PG.
Oh,
I know,
wardrobe.
I know. Then I didn't tie it tight enough.
Do you need some assistance?
No, I'm good, I'm good.
Okay.
I think, am I good?
You're good.
Okay.
So Lisa Ray O'Shea says, looking forward to my apron. So she's excited.
Oh, you haven't
Oh.
gotten your apron.
No, so we were on the apron subject, and I thought we would.
Interesting, because
Oh.
we did
kind of veer off of there, didn't we?
well, we did mail you your apron, so
So,
let me, when we're done, I'll check, make sure I got the right address. You PM it to me. Well, again, I guess I can probably.
yeah, and before we get started, remember to share us tonight and put shared in the comments because we're going to put your name in a hat. We're going to draw it out, and whoever the winner is, we get
Oh, nice.
Autographs.
an autograph.
Autograph too?
Yeah.
How do you like that, audience?
Tremendous.
But yes, I mailed your. I'll have to go back and look in my program, make sure I have your address. But you'll get one. Don't you
We
fret.
promise.
Don't you fret.
And now we're going back. Says,
Well,
ha ha ha, right, MJ. Leigh Ann should have been a movie star.
Oh!
Who said
And that
that?
was from Natalie Sanders.
Oh,
Natalie.
Natalie. That's another one of our sweet neighbors.
She's a lovely gal, no doubt about
We
it.
better get
Thank
busy
you.
and baking
What?
cake.
Yes, we
We're
have to
cooking.
whip this
Are
up.
we cooking, really?
It's really, so when we were writing down Mary Jane was just like, okay, no, so we usually write down all the ingredients and everything, and she's like, how many is it? I said, it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it is 12 ingredients, but it's pretty quick.
Yes.
So,
And should I? You want this in front of you, or?
no, yeah, this is fine. I mean, I have to say, I have practiced it twice now, so I think I'm pretty good at it. We're gonna start
Okay.
with, we're gonna cream a cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of butter,
Okay, Nathan, you take it away.
Okay.
all for you. And then
what can I
we're
be
gonna
doing?
add this
2 tablespoons.
after we cream it.
That
Yes,
should be probably already pre-measured.
yeah, it is. It's right there on the. And then I'm gonna measure out a cup of the sugar. Oh my, that's loaded. It'll work though.
Yes, it will.
Domino. These are interesting mixing bowls because I'm so used to, like, you know,
I know.
putting
That's,
run my
The
fingers.
Pioneer.
It's our pioneer.
Oh
woman,
yeah, what's
so.
her name?
Dree.
Dree
Drummond.
Drummond.
Dree
Yeah.
Drummonds. Nothing
Are you
like
dyslexic?
being. That's what.
It happens, man. It happens to the
So
best.
we're gonna,
Oh, okay, so we're creaming.
So we're gonna cream this.
Creaming up the. What do we got? A cup of sugar.
A cup of sugar and
And
2 tablespoons of
2
butter.
tablespoons.
Okay, there's
What about
another
butter?
dairy. That was another dairy product.
Here, and
But
that's. Are you done with that or no?
yes, we can put that aside.
Okay.
And
I'll take that.
then we are going to measure out a half a teaspoon. That's 4.
Somebody start
There's a half,
cooking
right?
Half a teaspoon.
project.
Project, because we got that baby
yes.
running. Here we go.
It's a wee bit loud. So you want to mix like this along with your, okay, that looks great. All right. And
That's
then,
a half a teaspoon.
yeah, half a
of-
teaspoon of pure vanilla. You want to use the real
Vanilla.
thing. Don't
No skim.
Don't mess
be
around with the
skimping.
imitation. It all comes from
Yeah,
Madagascar, but it's so worth it.
Alrighty.
And
And
then,
then here comes the craziness.
ta-da!
Tomato soup. What?
And this comes out a whole lot easier than it used to. Remember, you used to have to wrestle with it. So my thought was, if you do decide to make this for dessert, my recommendation for dinner would be a grilled cheese.
You are so clever, my dearest.
Grilled cheese and
Well,
tomato soup
Yeah,
cake.
Oh my
absolutely.
gosh.
Wait a minute, I want to get the very last of it.
Scrape that baby out.
Get to the
there.
last
Gotta
bit.
have
Well,
all of it.
being you know a Scotsman like my great Aunt Minnie would say, "Ooh, you have to get the very last bit there."
Oh
all right.
my goodness.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Do we need another spatula maybe to scrape down the sides? Just to be on the safe side.
Okay, so we got our tomato soup added in there, and our
let this
vanilla.
mix.
Just so it's incorporated, which it looks pretty good there. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
Now
okay.
what you need?
Well, we want in this recipe. It's very interesting because it calls for raisins, and I don't think my grandmother ever soaked them in water, but I like to make them a little plump.
Okay,
So it is a half a cup.
okay, and this is a half cup already
Is that a half
measured
a cup
out.
right there? Yeah. Oh yes, I already measured that one
So
out.
do you want me just to put them in the
Perfect.
water?
Just drop them in, and then we'll just pour out the water. And then to this, we are going to add a pinch of salt to our dry ingredients.
Never heard of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Plumping your
Yeah, you're
raisins.
plumping your raisins now.
You got to plump your
You know,
raisins.
like when you sometimes dried mushrooms, you have to like reconstitute.
Who likes unplumped raisins?
You-
Well, it's certainly not me.
They're good
Okay,
pumped and
so-
rum.
Yeah,
So do you want to talk about your?
Oh, we've talked about
Okay.
these, but yes. Hey, Heather, look at these cute little spoons.
Look what we got.
We're doing a pinch.
We're doing a
A
pinch.
pinch.
Mm-hmm. Just a pinch of salt.
Our little sweet Heather Hansen sent those to us
There we
a
go.
couple of months back.
And then I'm
Here
gonna
you
just
go.
Here.
take a pinch and just throw it over my shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Well, isn't that what
My,
you're supposed to do? Oh! Sorry.
You are so funny. Okay, so we've done our pinch of salt. We've done our tomato. What
Mhm.
now?
We have pre-sifted 1.5 cups of ta-da!
Ta-da!
Lily all-purpose flour.
White lily all-purpose, AP
And-
as we call
Oh, yeah.
it.
And once again, I gave her this little trick. My mother, or tip my mother always told me, especially when you're baking and making cakes, if it calls for 1.5 cups of flour, you measure out the 1.5 cups. You sip the 1.5 cups, then you remeasure the 1.5 cups because there's probably 1/4 cup or better left over once you sip because it fluffs the flour up,
Interesting.
and that's what you want. So you measure, because if you don't, this cake's going to be dense.
Right.
So
Huh?
don't have too much flour.
I know, and
Huh?
I've never heard
Yeah.
that, but it's
Then?
a great. It's
Huh?
a like
You're
not man.
dense.
So anyway,
Oh my
we
goodness.
sifted it. We sifted 1.5 cups of flour, and we
And-
remeasured it, and we're going to sift it again.
We are going to just sift it again. Just
Because
be-
we're going to add some other dry ingredients. to that.
Absolutely.
And
Yes,
what
we
would
are.
you like? Do you need some assistance?
Yes,
in that?
of course. I would love that. We are
Okay.
going to. This is fresh nutmeg. You can buy it just like this. I put it in a jar,
It really
and
is.
it stays. Yeah, it is. It's really crazy. And you take a grater or a rasp, whatever you want to call it, and then I use this bowl just to like put
'Cause
a
it
whole
is-
bunch in there.
It
and then
is
we'll measure it out.
adorable
I know.
is what it is.
You're a nut.
Ramekin. It's a ramekin.
It is. It's a ramekin. It's a glass
So
ramekin.
what you got here? So how many of these nuts do you need done?
Well, probably like half of one should be sufficient.
Woo! Those
Yes.
are potent.
Mhm.
Did you smell how
And
potent
it's
those
amazing, and that's what you smelled here in the kitchen when we were baking the
are?
first one.
Ah, so that's what
But well, I
smelled
mean,
like Christmas.
it's nice to have that fresh. Now,
okay.
and then, girls, we've all been there when you go to find a recipe and you really like it, and you buy your seasonings or your different spices, and they're so blasted expensive. Well, if you go to Hispanic stores or down the the international aisle, a lot of times you can find your spices, and this was $1.50. Yeah,
One more?
Yeah, keep going
Okay.
on that one.
All right.
It was $1.50, and I did get, I got almost 3 of the portions of 3 teaspoons. So it's probably, about 3 teaspoons per bag, which is a pretty good deal for $1.50. Okay, so this is my 1 teaspoon.
This is cloves.
This is cloves, yes, ground cloves. Now, you could put that in a mortar and pestle and,
Yeah, do
but
it
I
all.
haven't got time for that.
I don't have a mortar and pestle.
Oh, no,
anyway.
really? We'll have to get you one. Maybe Santa Claus will bring one.
Oh,
Ooh, I bet you could find one at the Kegel auction.
I
Sometimes,
bet
yes.
we could.
I have sold
Just one.
just one
Mm-hmm.
clove.
Yes.
Ooh,
Clove. Yes, potent.
Okay. How about that? Is that, or you want me to?
I think we're probably going to be
That's
good.
so
Here,
nice.
don't you have another? Do you have a? There's a teaspoon. You want to measure that one out? And then this
Possibly.
is just ground cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? A teaspoon?
Yes, ma'am. And just pop that in there. And then last but not least,
How's
another-
that?
Perfect. Yay! See, that worked out nicely.
Beautiful.
All right, and then if you'll hand me that little bag over there, this is my baking soda from Arm & Hammer. Now, I was just in North Carolina visiting my sister-in-law Carol and my mother-in-law Joyce, And Carol taught me this little secret. Once you open your baking soda, you want to put it in either plastic bag you can put the box in a plastic bag, but seal it because that will help to keep the bubbly effect, to keep it as a leavener. It keeps it fresh.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
baking
we're
soda is going to absorb any
moisture
and
and it
odors.
goes flat. And if you've ever made chocolate chip cookies, and it looks like there's thin, and all you see are the chips on there. Mm-mm.
You don't want no flat soda.
No,
Who likes flat soda?
not me. Okay.
And how much of this baking soda?
This is also a teaspoon. So this is, those little things are, all 4 of those.
That
things.
was one of the cruel tricks like other chefs used to do to us at the fire station. We had a big Tupperware tub thing. We kept all our self-rising flour in to make biscuits. And, it'd get low or something. Somebody thought it would be funny to put all-purpose flour in and make biscuits out of all-purpose flour, and they turned out to be hockey pucks. They're about that big, they're tough.
That's so exasperating, though. That's mean.
Well, why would you do that? Eat that?
Well,
I would
it's
make
the
them
other-
eat it.
It was the other
next
chef.
shift.
It was the other chef doing it to us.
Oh,
Yeah. Until
There
you
you
eat
go.
all your food, you're not
Those-
getting anything
those
else.
firemen,
Yes.
they are so cruel
Yes,
sometimes.
they're tricksters, aren't
Yes, they are.
they? Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this in here at a time. I don't want to put it all in at the same time because I just don't think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Because it gets so, like kind of when you're making gravy, you don't want to dump all your flour into your roux at once because
It's clumpy.
it gets lumpy,
Yeah.
absolutely. So a little bit goes, it's true what they say.
Wow. Can you smell it?
Yes.
I wish y'all had some smell-o-vision. Because it is,
Well, and that nutmeg, you can really smell the nutmeg.
I know, I still
And
smell
it gives it such a
on my
great
hands.
flavor. Oh, yeah.
Little more of that mixture.
Mm-hmm.
How's our,
Okay,
Okay,
and then
we're
just
still
one more,
there.
and we are finito with that. Wow, David does a really nice job.
Hey,
No wonder you were in the kitchen all the time at the firehouse.
There was a comment about the flour, or a question about the flour.
yes.
Okay.
Doris Summerlin asks, is it true today now that it's all pre-sifted?
I don't know.
Well,
You know?
We might have to ask Google that question.
I don't know that one. I imagine I always have sifted mine.
I would say it's pre-sifted, but
But when you're when it gets packed and it's shipped and all that stuff, it would be
packed.
it would be compacted.
You'd ask.
Well, and I also feel like if you're making some sort of gravy or whatever with it,
You
it
know.
really doesn't clump up as much if you.
I don't.
If-
If I'm not
sift
baking
it.
cakes, I don't sift. But if I'm doing biscuits or baking cakes, I'd always sift it. But if I was making flour or just using something thick and
Yes.
I just use it right out of the container.
Well, sometimes you can, but I prefer to
But,
sift mine just to be on the safe side because if you've ever bitten into a biscuit and it's a clump of flour, it's not the most appealing.
Okay, so next we're gonna put in our.
We need to chop our nut meats. That's what was in the recipe. It said nut meats.
Okay.
Not nuts, but
Nutmeg.
it makes sense. And this was probably, seriously, you guys, this was probably written, this is probably from the 30s or 40s at least.
All right, let me get.
Front
Is that
and
going
center.
in?
That is going in here.
Okay. I'll just.
Okay, so you're gonna, on your mark, get set.
He loves this thing.
I
oh
did
my
too, it was
gosh.
so much fun. Now, not too much, we want them, we want them a little,
Yeah.
like,
She doesn't want
corner.
them.
I don't want them decimated. Perfect. I think that one's good.
Beautiful.
We'll go with that one.
How much you need?
I need that whole, both,
All of it.
Yeah.
Do it all, Nathan.
Do it all.
Chop up
just
every
go
bit
for
of
it,
it.
man. Well, that's a half a cup. You can, you can add more, and if Nathan probably would add more if he were
If he
making
could,
this recipe.
yes, because he loves chopping up those nuts.
And these are walnuts. We always had walnuts, but you can use pecans.
This is going here.
Yes, sir. And then,
The nut meats are going in.
The nut meats are going in the
and
batter.
there's-
And then I'm
there's
just gonna
these
strain this
clumped up
off.
Raisins.
mm-hmm.
How about that? Oh my gosh,
Whoopsie.
it's raisin juice.
Man overboard.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just want to slowly, you can fold it in. Well, here, use this. I'll use my fingers. There we go. All right, just a turn or three. Okay, well maybe more than three. You want them well
You just tell
coated.
me.
That's great. Perfect.
All right.
Because you don't want to. I mean, you don't want to mix it too much because it will make the batter tough. We know that. That's how
So
that
is
rolls.
it done?
Yes.
This is done.
And I am going to scrape the. What's this thing called the paddle, the flapper. Well, it's
And
from the 20s.
And And if you haven't noticed, Leigh Ann.
Leigh Ann, that's better than saying Leigh
Saying Leigh
Ann.
Ann.
I go, yeah, it's a whole lot better than that.
Don't ever
Let me hurt
call-
you.
That's right. That's one of the first things she ever said. Don't call me Lou Ann.
Don't call me Luann.
So what do you think he called her?
Lou Ann.
Luann.
But
And how much did I adore it? A lot.
her distinctive laugh. It's infectious.
Thank you. That's so sweet. How do I get this thing? Okay.
But
Wow.
if you're ever going anywhere, you don't look for Leigh Ann. You just listen for her laugh. You can find
It's
her.
a good thing.
Yeah.
I think,
You want me to hold that for you?
well,
And
yeah,
you
okay,
can-
that'd be great. While I was out of, when I was with my sister-in-law, I was sleeping on the couch, and so she was in there talking to my mother-in-law, and she had said that she knew this guy that was on TV, and his son played baseball with her son, and she said, and I can't think of his name, and then she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, it came to me finally. His name is da 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 da. She's like, I just, it just like, I hit it off the bat like that, and I started laughing, and she's like, what's so funny? Because she ribs me about, doing puns. And so I said, you just said baseball, and, off the bat. And so, anyway. Okay, it was a location joke. I guess you had to be there, but it was really funny. But she was ribbing me about laughing all the time. She was ribbing me about laughing all the time. And I'd rather do that than cry, for goodness sakes.
Absolutely.
We all need a little,
I'm telling
fun
you.
in our life. Okay. So,
This
now,
is going in.
yes, that goes in the oven, and you really would like to, you want to put this in a, if you have a 7 by 10, that's your best bet. And of course, it's easy to double the recipe.
325.
325.
For
yeah,
how long?
45.
for 45 minutes.
I'm sorry, I have to
Quarters of
run
an hour.
water. So we're gonna hear that.
By the way,
Yes.
Natalie Sanders says, yes, Nathan, you could hear that laugh a mile away.
I guess she knows me pretty well.
We can be sitting out on our deck when they're playing,
Oh,
when they're playing
Well, we
tennis.
practice tennis down by the courts.
So,
Oh, my
the courts
goodness.
is on the
Good
on the
half
side
a
over here,
mile.
but we can sit. And I said, Leigh Ann's playing tennis tonight.
Yes, I do enjoy it. I have missed playing tennis this season, that's for sure.
And now we're going to make some icing.
Yes. Now, of course, because of the magic of television, we have one that is already made, and I highly recommend that you do let it cool. I mean, you could serve it warm, but I mean, you want it to cool off, because if you put this icing on there, it will melt when it's hot, and you certainly
Yes.
don't want that.
You don't want to melt your icing.
No. And this is, it's a cream cheese icing, and it's an icing. It's not a frosting. It doesn't have any butter in it. It simply has 4 ingredients. It is cream cheese and powdered sugar, also known as confectioner's sugar, also known as, what was the other one that we said it was? Icing sugar. Icing sugar. That's the way it was written in this recipe. And then it's just a couple of tablespoons of milk and
With the milk. Speaking of the milk.
vanilla.
There.
Now the vanilla here, okay, and here's something else. Cream cheese used to come in a 4-ounce portion, and now of course they make it in this nice 8-ounce brick, which I really do like. And as soon as we get this bowl over here, we're gonna mix it up.
Sorry, I
Oh, no, that's fine.
going as fast as I can.
I know you're doing a great job.
But hurry
Thanks
up,
so much
every
for
chance you
inviting me
get.
over, you guys.
Honey,
Really
oh,
nice.
stop.
Oh,
we're we're so happy that you came.
Oh my goodness. It's been great fun so far. I hope
Yeah,
you like
fun.
the cake. I mean, I probably won't get invited back if they don't
Oh,
like it.
Leigh Ann is always welcome. Anytime you have a get together again, Leigh Ann is always the last to get here, and always the last to
one to
leave.
leave. Well, then I get you all to myself. I don't have to share you with anybody. You know what I mean?
That's right. You are so funny.
But if you want Leigh Ann to be somewhere at 7 o'clock till 6.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Ooh,
I mean,
did he say that?
well, I was born late, but I was almost to my wedding on time, so that was a good thing. Okay.
Almost to your
yes.
wedding on time.
So,
Oh, we need to beat her.
Oh, you don't need to beat her. She's a sweet
Yeah,
girl.
Well, we'll have to get a new dishwasher.
Oh. I'm going to stand over here.
I got you dishwasher.
Thank you very much for assisting. I really appreciate it.
You're a sweetheart.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
Lord.
Yes.
Okay, so as I was saying, these used to come in 4 ounce, and now they come in 8. And I have practiced twice, I have to say, and I did use like 6 ounces, just because I like a little more icing. So,
Who doesn't like more icing?
I know.
I mean,
You
for
mean-
crying out loud.
You want me to whoop this?
yes, we're gonna put in 3/4 of a tablespoon of this. It usually
Quarters?
calls for a half, but I'm going
Tablespoon or
to
a
use
teaspoon?
teaspoon. Excuse me.
Teaspoon.
Ooh, goodness,
That's
yes,
3 of
teaspoon.
those.
Okay,
Three
so
of
3 of
those.
these. So anyway, so we're gonna make. I am making a double portion of the icing because I have 2 cakes to contemplate. I mean, not contemplate. Oh, excuse me. To cover. I'm contemplating whether or not I should tell you that. And
Oh, you are
yeah.
something else.
Have
I
to get a
love
little
you.
sip.
Oh no, yeah, no. This stuff is
Ooh,
nasty.
no.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It smells delightful, but it's really terrible taste
I don't want to
on
taste
its own.
it. Yeah.
No, you don't ever.
So next, we're gonna do
it's some milk. We're gonna put
1
in.
to 2 tablespoons.
I'm gonna start with 1 because we don't want it. We don't want it too
Too milky.
too thin. Okay, just the 1. You can use cream or whatever you
Whatever
so
you
desire.
Whatever kind.
But-
Don't use buttermilk.
Yes, don't use buttermilk, and I think whole milk is probably the best bet.
Yes, whole milk. And
Okay.
so what do we want to do
And
here?
this
We're going to do
is
a cup.
1 cup.
We're actually doing a cup and a half.
I've got something here. I just had some nut meats in there, and I didn't want.
That's a half a cup over there.
Yeah, I know, but we're gonna put in 1.5 cups.
I know, but that's your pretty half cup.
Oh, okay.
So sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do we want to? Should you think we should sift this, or do you
No.
think we should take a crack at it? Because
I think it should be okay because we have actually used that to make icing and it came out beautiful.
okay, and well, I did not. I made mine. I stirred mine by hand, so probably gonna turn out fine because it has this.
You can never
Batter and
go
the
wrong
machine.
with powdered sugar. I'm telling
I don't
you.
have one of these. What is that thing called?
A
A
mixer?
stand mixer. Stand mixer. I have a hand mixer.
Oh, okay.
KitchenAid.
KitchenAid, yeah.
Okay, so you were doing a half
Brought to you
cup.
by Cable
Well,
Auction Company.
I'm gonna go with
2 cups.
well, I'm doubling
Since
it,
you're
remember?
doubling,
Yeah.
yes.
So I might end up with 3. It depends. This is one of those you have to feel it out and do as you prefer.
So
Oopsie.
please, this is paper.
I know, thank
Hey,
goodness.
we had a question about the nut meats that you guys used.
The nut meats.
Yes.
What's the question?
What are they? What types?
Oh, we used walnut tonight, but you can use pecans.
Mm-hmm.
You could use peanuts. You could use,
Whatever kind of nut you want. They just call them nut meats for some reason.
what's those Hawaiian
Oh, macadamia.
macadamia nuts?
I don't know. Something about just.
Walnuts to
That's
me
just so
go in a
good.
cake. I mean, that just.
I agree, and of course pecans. And they're very, in my opinion, they're the most interchangeable.
Yes.
All right, how's that
What
looking?
you
Does
looking
it feel
for?
pretty? Looks like we might need to put a little more milk in there, Nathan.
A little more milk, she said.
Yeah, because I do want it to give it a nice, a nice amount of icing on there.
I'm coming. Jeez.
What is
Stuck
she
me
doing?
over here at the sink tonight. So you can have all the
You
fun.
get to do it next week.
Scalpel.
Apple. Okay.
Spatula.
That's looking pretty yummy. What else
Oh,
we
yeah.
got to put in that? That's it.
I think
huh?
this is just about done.
Ooh. How's this cake feeling over here?
Trying to
It's still pretty.
Well, it looks pretty good. I think we're
Actually, the
just,
cake's pretty
actually,
nice.
let's just go with, there you go, thank you very much.
You want to taste?
Well, you know I do.
Give Tim a taste.
Hey, that's nice. Do you think we need any more? I think that's
Nothing.
good.
Yeah.
I think we're good there. All right.
Oh,
I think that's finito. Uh-oh.
Oop.
that
Oh,
vanilla.
hey,
is-
whoa, wait a minute. Oh, well, everybody's done. I was gonna.
Here,
There you go. Thank you.
scalpel.
Yes, sir.
You're such a cut up.
She is the master of puns.
Oh my God, the
occasion.
master
On
of puns
occasion.
and the master of song.
Yeah, well, I grew up
She
with it, I'm
definitely
afraid.
has a song for everyone, or for every situation. What's a good song for now?
Yes.
Oh my, she's on the spot.
I don't know, I
Can't
am on
even
the
think
spot.
of anything. Well, it'll come to you.
Sugar doo 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 doo. Oh, honey, honey, doo 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 doo. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
Don't think you're gonna be calling from
Yeah, they won't be
Somewhere.
calling from. We won't be on the
America's
Grammys
Got
anytime soon.
Talent. You couldn't pay me to go on the Grammys anyway.
Oh. Okay,
Okay, so
now
can I
this-
take these
oh,
to
yeah.
the sink now, Your Highness? I mean, Nathan.
Well,
That's,
Yeah, I guess you can.
oh, those.
oh, we,
Do you need something to ice with?
didn't you have a span? Oh, right there. No.
You know what? I have this little one right here. Oh, you have another? Oh, perfect. Okay. I just need to rinse my hands because they're,
Sticky.
yes.
So, you know I'm just playing, right?
I do.
Not really.
Sugar. Let's do it again.
No, let's don't. Because they might
One
not
more
ever-
time.
They might not tune in again.
My ears.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm
What
trying
you
to
looking
think what
for,
we're gonna.
honey?
Well, the leftovers, I guess we can just put in this little bowl
Oh, for your icing?
for my second one. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll fix you. I'll
Okay.
fix you up with
Yeah,
that.
Okay. So this has cooled nicely, which is, I mean, like I said, it's still a little warm. You want to
Look how beautiful that is.
It's
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it smells
it smells
I'm
so
telling you.
delicious. It
like
really
you just
is.
want to stick your head down there and just take a big bite.
I tell you what, this is really delicious with coffee in the morning. You know, those Europeans, they have the right idea where you have your, you know, something sweet with your tea or coffee in the morning. I think that's the way to go. Because then you have the whole day to work off you have the whole day to work off the
Nothing-
sweets.
Nothing like a Pop-Tart, cinnamon Pop-Tart in your coffee in the morning.
Oh, heaven.
Is that right, Heather? I mean, Amy.
Amy Howard. She likes her. I don't know if she drinks coffee, but I know she likes those.
She don't like anything else, so I doubt it. Besides cinnamon Pop-Tarts.
So yeah, that's
I think we
that's
need a
pretty
little more.
funny.
That is pretty.
You know, that kind of, the girls when they were little, they always liked those little cinnamon, cinnamon
Oh yes. the
rolls.
cinnamon
Oh yeah,
buns.
and they had
the
the
Pillsbury cinnamon
Yes,
rolls, and then they
absolutely.
had the little icing like this.
at the bottom,
Yeah, the
and then they
little-
didn't get, but they never gave you enough icing,
No,
in my
no,
opinion.
no.
Especially to get to eat some of it by itself.
Oh yeah, but then they got smart and they ended up, loading you up.
That
I'm
looks
just gonna use a little
heavenly.
more.
We
make
can always
extra
make
for my
more,
other one if I need
yes.
to. Yeah. So yeah, because I like to give it
Did you
end.
set the timer?
No.
Yes.
Oh, did we?
Oh yeah, I did.
You did.
I didn't.
So, tell me about. You were saying something about your grandmother earlier.
Oh.
How
Well,
interest-
Oh yeah, her, like I said, her name was Emma, and she lived in Detroit, Michigan, which is the home of the automobile.
Real.
Yes, as a matter of fact. And there,
It's always one
and
in the
she
ground.
met before she met my grandfather. She worked for a man, and his last name was Bundy. I do not know his first name, and
It
no,
was
it's
Al.
not Ted.
or yeah.
Or Al.
But anyway, she was
Mr. Bundy.
That's it.
she was an executive secretary for him, and he sold parts, or I guess tubing, to Henry Ford.
How about that?
And he, she being the secretary, whenever they would have parties or whatever, she was always in need, because if they were ever at the same party, I mean, she was with him all the time, Mr. Bundy, because when they would, if they were ever discussing business, then they had to, write that down, So she would notes. Yeah.
Didn't have a dictaphone.
Yes, absolutely
Didn't
not.
have a typewriter.
No, and
Didn't
yeah.
have a
Well,
they probably
recorder.
had a typewriter.
Probably
Oh,
didn't have
yeah,
a cell
but not-
phone.
Yeah, no, there's
Portable
no- yeah, no.
typewriter.
Absolutely.
So we were writing things down.
Exactly.
How about that?
Well, so let me.
She was
well,
chiseling it.
oh no. So there's this one story that my brother Bradford was telling me that she came in late to work one morning to Mr. Bundy's office, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, but the bus was late, and I just, what am I going to do?" And so she said, "Emma, get your coat and get your hat, get your gloves, and we're going to the plant." And she knew right away that this was Henry Ford's automobile plant. And so they get there, and they go up to his office and everything, and he's
To Henry Ford?
yes, absolutely.
What?
And they're chatting, and he says, "Well, I understand you were late to work this morning," and she was,
Oh
completely
my
embarrassed,
God,
and so she
yes.
said, "Yes, as a matter of fact." And he said, "All right, well, come on, let's go down to the showroom and pick out a car." And her boss, Mr. Bundy, bought her a car, and it was one that had steel spokes, so it was much safer than the wooden spoked wheels that you would buy.
Wow.
Because that was a big change
That was
that they made.
pre-war.
Absolutely. We think that was 1909. Is that when those came out? Anyway, I thought it was a pretty interesting
That is
story. So
awesome.
she picked out one that had red spokes.
Of
on
course.
her.
I see where the flash comes from.
Ta-da! No, this is somebody else. But anyway, so I thought that was a pretty cool
That's
story.
very cool.
I mean, that's a pretty cool story.
I mean,
not like
who else's
everybody.
grandmother had a car given to her from
Henry
Ford?
Yeah, that's
Oh my goodness.
fond memories.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was something nice to share. And she was also a nurse. And then
And there
of
was
course, she was a
something
great
else.
grandmother.
Wasn't there another
And
guy?
she also worked for after she stopped working for Mr. Bundy, she did work for the Fisher Brothers, and I believe they were affiliated somehow with Cadillac. That's all I know.
Well, how about that?
I know. Yeah, and she was a smart gal with her money and everything else. So
Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go, Grandma.
Well,
great
I'd
gal.
say-
Natalie really likes your story.
Oh.
It's a great story.
I say,
Glad. Thank you, Natalie.
I say we take a bite of cake.
Okay, that sounds grand to me.
Oh, you got it.
I do. I have this. This is the cake cutter from the Martin side of the family.
The Martin side of
Yes.
the family.
When Dennis's mom was, divvying up her house, my husband Dennis got this cake cutter or cake server, I guess is more appropriate, isn't it? But you can see that there's a, pardon?
It's stirring. So.
The handle is,
Yes.
yeah. And you can, it's been handled.
been used.
It's been manhandled too. Well, with 6 boys. But anyways, you can see the top of it has got an etch out of it.
I did notice that.
And so my 2 sister-in-laws wanted to know, they were like, well, how did you end up with that? And then, of course, fortunately, my mother-in-law Joyce came to my rescue, and she said, it just so happens that her husband, Dennis, is the one that tried to use it as a screwdriver and popped it, and so that's how I ended up with it. So
Dennis Martin.
I was thrilled.
It is
actually.
not a screwdriver. But
So-
I guess you know that. By
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, so I got ripped about it.
Here we go, having some tomato soup.
Soup, cake.
What?
Who wants a taste?
Mm-hmm.
Me
Mm-hmm.
and me and me. And Tim's got his hand raised. too.
I told Terry Nunley I was going to flavor it.
Oh yeah, grand. I hope she likes it. It is, it's a filling. So just start it off with 1, and then if you want more, well, hopefully there'll be some
Dig in.
left.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse him. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I will hand you yours.
No, here, you guys get yours.
I love your little dessert forks. They're so lovely.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Oh, Stephanie's on. She says, hi, guys.
Hi,
Hi,
Steph.
Steph.
Hi, Stephanie.
Love you, Stephanie.
She wants to taste too.
Miss your
Okay.
face. Come on down.
Yeah. More the merrier.
I'll bring you a piece, honey.
We even cleared out the little studio audience portion of the. Took the tables
I
down.
think you guys should have a live studio audience. I think that would be a great idea. Something to do on a Thursday evening.
Come on, Murray.
All right, we're waiting okay.
Oh, please,
she's
good
doing.
Lord. Y'all go ahead.
No, no.
No.
You can't go without me. Okay, so here is to Leanne and
Great.
Emma,
Emma
and
and Minnie.
for this lovely tomato soup recipe
Yeah, yeah.
cake.
Oh,
Cake
absolutely.
recipe.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Outstanding.
Mmm.
What a great choice of nut meats.
Mmm.
Mm.
Ooh, and it's still warm.
Mm. You know,
Isn't that? I mean, it's so crazy that it's tomato soup.
you taste, yeah. You kind of get the hint of that tomato
A little
soup.
bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
The-
This is like angels singing. Okay, I am
And I-
surprised that I like this.
mm.
The fresh
Because I am-
nutmeg
Mm.
is absolutely makes.
I am
I
not a
think so.
nutmeg girl. And
Really?
apparently I am.
Well,
This
I have to say.
is fabulous.
And that nutmeg is,
the walnuts are great in there, and it's just a
They're
half a cup
chopped.
of each.
and they're chopped perfectly.
They are exceptional, no doubt about it.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, I have to say, Natalie is not a raisin gal, and I gave this to them to try last Saturday,
Thank you.
and she snagged the rest of Brian's. She's like, "What's that over there?" And then she ate it all.
That's what Natalie said. She said, y'all better be bringing me a slice after this. Brian just ate the last piece.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say,
Well-
I am not.
You want a dessert?
Isn't that something different? It's amazing, isn't
To
it?
take-
That
I mean, this would be great to take to church or to a function or whatever, and you can kind of say, "What'd you bring? Tomato soup."
the cake.
Cake.
There we
I mean,
Hey,
it's a
I'm
great
eating that.
conversation piece.
Mm-hmm.
Want another piece?
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no.
Mm.
Wow.
I
I'm
will.
telling you, the crunch of the nut is just perfect.
Mm.
The raisins, the plump raisins.
I'm telling you, they were.
It
as
really makes a
plump as
difference
plump
putting them in
can
water.
be.
I
Yeah,
did not
did.
realize,
it
but
does.
it does make a difference.
But I'm telling you, the crown jewel making this cake is this icing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh,
And
It's
it
so
is an
simple.
icing. It's
Yeah.
not a frosting. They do have cream cheese
frosting.
frostings that have butter in it.
Mm.
But I've never. I mean, this is the way we've always made it.
And
You-
I really don't even
Put some of
taste
this
the
on your
tomato.
forehead.
Did you taste the
Tongue
tomato?
to beat your brains out trying to lick it off.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh my God.
I will say,
Mm.
if you do have any left over,
You
take
want
some toothpicks and put it on the top and then cover it with some saran or I guess aluminum foil. But it should be refrigerated because of the icing.
That
It's tasty, isn't it?
is fabulous.
I'm so glad you all enjoyed
Oh
it.
my
I have
God.
gotten really great responses for the last 2 places that I've served it.
I would have never in a million years thought.
Come here, Tim.
Tomato soup cake. Hold on.
Come here, Tim.
I got it.
Come on along.
He can get in front of the camera every
Hey,
once
by
in a
the
while.
way, Carl Tate has a suggestion. He says you really need a Willy Wonka thing where you just push samples through the TV screen.
I like
Oh! Wouldn't
Carl,
that be so cool if you
it
could do that?
because you
Great
are
suggestion.
probably the smartest person that I know. You need to invent that and come down here and let's test it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm.
Do you like another piece?
No, I'm fine for now.
Oh my gosh, I could lick the plate.
It's well, that was always a fight for who got to lick the. I mean, like I said, with my both Emma and my great aunt Minnie were very frugal, and so I mean they would, they'd scrape that thing out the spatula, so there was hardly anything left. But they were usually pretty generous when it came to the icing bowl, which was nice. So.
Everybody got to lick the
Oh
bowl.
my gosh, yeah. You'd be sticky from
Head to toe.
from tips to tips to elbow, and then you'd be in your hair. Like when you would have waffles with syrup,
Yes.
and no matter
Syrup's
what you
everywhere.
did, you could wear a cap and everything else, and you still had it when you took it. It was just like, how does that happen?
Because I'm small.
Well,
when I eat. Oh my gosh.
I know
man.
that's not true. I've dined with you before.
You have.
Yes.
How about this tomato soup cake, Nathan? What do you think?
I think Ted ought to put it on the
Oh my
I know,
goodness!
Ted
What a
Martin.
great idea.
That is a fine idea to put that on the menu at
Mhm.
Ted's Montana Grill.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring Ted and ask him about it.
Ted's probably
Kidding.
laid up somewhere.
Yeah. He's probably in
If
Montana.
you only knew the proprietor.
Yeah. That's
Yes. Who would that be? Dennis Martin. Okay, guys.
That guy.
So, we're going to recap real
Mhm.
quick. Cake ingredients. 2 tablespoons of butter. Cream it with a cup of sugar. Then you add your can of tomato soup and your
Vanilla.
vanilla.
Mhm.
Then you will sift your flour, your 1.5 cups of flour, and
Can you tell
sift.
any difference? The way we. Oh, this
Well,
one.
this is the one that, yeah. So we'll have to
find
do
out.
a taste test and let you know what the difference is. Hey, that's a great idea.
And then, so take your flour, sift your other dry ingredients, the baking soda, the cinnamon, the cloves, and the fresh nutmeg.
Mm-hmm.
Sift those together, mix them in with the tomato soup mix, and add your cup of raisins, your chopped nut meats.
Mm-hmm.
And put all that together, bake it up at 325 for 45 minutes, and then you put on
The icing,
the icing.
the crowning jewel.
Yes, the softened cream cheese, a 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, 3/4 teaspoons of vanilla. How much milk did you do?
I did. I did
2.
about 2. Yes,
tablespoons
because we
of
were
milk.
doubling the
Okay.
recipe. So
So yeah, but
For
we'll
sure.
we'll get that posted post haste.
post haste.
That's something about being around you makes me want to talk proper.
Well, it's a good thing. Oh my God! I sound like Martha.
Oh my
You want
lord!
to talk,
didn't do that
you want
one.
to talk like me proper all the time, don't you?
You do talk proper all the time.
Southern.
Southern proper. All right, so I
Southern
guess
gentlemen.
that kind of wraps it up, doesn't it? Or
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me
Well.
over, and oh my
Aw.
goodness, and being such great assistance. I
I'm-
really
oh my goodness,
appreciate it.
I love you,
I
Leigh.
love you too.
You're a sweetheart. We do
One of the
love
great
you.
things about this neighborhood we live in is our good neighbors.
Yes, there is no doubt
mean,
about
the
that.
neighbor
And,
behind
we
the
have a neighbor
camera.
behind the camera, absolutely.
The neighbor cooking.
Up the street,
Yeah.
So yeah,
lots of neighbors that want to have dessert. Well,
too bad.
it's always I
You're not getting it from
don't be
me.
surprised if they don't come knocking on your door.
I wonder that. Yeah, any minute
Oh my
now,
gosh,
David,
no.
David and Suzanne.
Yeah, they're lined up out there.
Look out.
Uh-oh. We should charge admission.
That's right.
That's funny. So yeah, if you want to, I think you should move into our neighborhood because there's a couple of houses for sale. in here.
Indeed.
But it's definitely highly recommended. I'm telling you, I had my doubts about it.
I definitely do.
I understand
Sorry.
completely. I
Yeah.
understand completely.
So-
I get it.
Terry Nunley, don't worry, I take my word for it.
It's good,
Mhm.
Miss Terry. It's real good. I
Girl
loved
Scouts
it.
on him. Thanks.
I loved it almost as much as I love Leigh Ann.
Oh,
Wow.
Thanks for coming down here and doing this.
thank you very
Love
much.
you like my luggage.
Oh my!
You know I love you more than my
goodness.
luggage.
Aw.
Oh my goodness. I was right. Stephanie Hubert told me that one too. She's a nut. But you were the one. You lucked out and got to play that part. You lucky girl.
Oh my gosh, that was the best time
She was
I ever had.
fantastic. Yes.
Oh,
Steel
you're
Magnolias. Oh boy.
That's for another day, though.
And hey, if you'd like to have me, like maybe do a lemon curd or something, I'd be happy to assist.
That could
Well,
be
now-
something we can do.
Well, we might have to move we'll have to move it over to the stove and everything, but
We can
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
lemons are
We
sweet.
We got a
We got a
professional
cameraman.
cameraman.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks again.
Anything
This is-
else we got
this
to
is-
say?
This is just us,
Being us.
and we have a good time at it.
That's right, we do.
And so, in the words,
Of my mama, Jane Casselos, Glennis Bites, Gilliland. Be somebody.
in the words of my dear father, how every time he saw you, it'd say, "I love you, and don't you forget it." And we love you.
And don't you forget
forget
it. Yay!
We love you.
Oh,
and
I
don't
love you too.
forget it.
I shan't. I promise.
Aw. We'll see you guys next
See y'all next Thursday.
Right.
We'll be giving you updates.
Thanks for tuning
Hey.
in.
Don't
and
forget
keep-
to share.
Share up until 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes.
At 3 o'clock, we'll cut them off. We're counting the shares. We'll draw on your names, and we'll
And we're checking on Lisa O'Shea's apron.
absolutely. I will get it sent out again. All right.
Well, we'll just need to find out
Right.
why she didn't get it.
Right.
All right, guys. Have a great week. Great weekend. We love y'all. Come back when you can stay longer.